Hi, wonderful people. Welcome back to Kweshunga. My name is Penelope Sanyu, and as usual, I am your host. I am delighted to be having this beautiful conversation with you. For those who don't know why we are here, Kweshunga is our space to play, to be inspired, and to live. And we are dealing or talking about a very delicate conversation or topic that we have titled "The Saucepans Are Leaking." Yes, the saucepans are leaking, and so we're trying to figure out different ways to patch these saucepans so that they can stop leaking and they can be useful to us in the ways that we need them to be useful to us. And joining me today are two beautiful humans that I love, that I care about, that I have worked with in several spaces, but also that I respect and honor, because anyone that comes here to share their story is not just sharing their story for the sake of being on TV or on YouTube. They're sharing their story that we might learn something, glean something from what they have gone through, and also live beautiful lives. So welcome with me my guests. I'll allow them to introduce themselves. You're very welcome, Lauren.
Thanks, Penny.
Please tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, and then we will move to the next guest.
Yeah, so my name is Lorraine Karai Nabimanya. I am a global gender advisor, and I'm also a mom of 3. Yeah, so I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. I love mothers. So since we are talking about saucepans leaking, I'm happy that you mentioned you're a mom of 3. Yes, my dear.
My name is Tina Pinky. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a CEO at Pinky's Plus Size Lingerie. I do events management. I also host guests at Airbnbs that we have in Nigeria too. And I'm a mom of 2. Happy to be here.
Mother of 2, mother of 3. You're really a multi-potentialite, because you do so many things as like, oh, okay, I also want to host this, I want to do this, and do this. Anyway, we'll get into those things. So we've been having a conversation on Kweshunga around mother-daughter relationships. And I read somewhere that daughters are the little girls that grow up to become best friends, you know. Everyone looks forward to having a daughter. That's an assumption I make, but I think that so many people look forward to having daughters because they're like, oh my God, we're going to be cool, we're going to dress the same, we're going to do things together. Ugh. It's just a cool thing that you're dreaming about. And then you give birth to these daughters, and then somehow things don't go as planned. What were you like as a daughter? I'll start with Lorraine and then I'll go to Pinky. What were you like as a daughter? Do you remember your childhood, or do you want to share your story as a daughter before we get to you as a mother?
Yeah, so my story, where would I start? First of all, I'm an only child.
Oh,
and that comes with a lot of complications. No.
You have no one to fight for the remote with anyway.
You actually don't have anyone to talk to play with. It's a very lonely space you could be in. But anyway, I lost my mom when I was 10, and being an only child, that is just a very difficult place to be in. But I did have moms. I had my mom's sister step in, and that could be the journey that I can speak about. Although what I remember with my mom is we were really close. We used to do things together. And it was a really, like, I felt special because I remember celebrating every single birthday.
Nice.
That unfortunately stopped when she passed on. But just to say the least, with my other mom, she was very, very strict. That is one thing I could say. And that has actually influenced what my parenting style looks like.
Yeah.
Because every time she was in the kitchen, we were in the living room. Every time she came to the living room, yes, we tried so hard, because she was very critical of our dress code and very critical of what we were doing and our friends and all of that. And I think it's because she was a single mom. So she was very protective of us, but it also created some
A distance,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
between you
a
and
barrier. We were not friends until, you know, for so many years. So we didn't get to know what she liked. She didn't get to know what we liked. Yeah, but I'm from a background of very strong women and very resilient women. So that also influenced a lot of decisions that she either took or she made for us. Like I remember choosing my own high school, secondary school. Not many kids have that opportunity.
To do that.
Yes,
so
but
going here.
yes, but she was very empowering, and she allowed us make certain decisions because she knew that in life, you know, those, you know, being confident and being able to speak out and being able to make independent decisions would define us. So that's the relationship I had with my mom. You know, so maybe I can stop there and we can,
Let's listen to Pinky, because you've shared so many things and I feel like I want to chip in, but before I do, let's hear from Pinky. What was your childhood like?
Well, mine was still only living child. My
Your only children. I'm sorry, what?
No, me, unfortunately, my siblings before and after me passed on. So I grew up alone. I lost my mom in 2001 and my dad in 2002. So of course my mom, my second mom stepped in. She's married to my uncle. So I remember growing up, I was a very naughty child. Very, like when you hear the word naughty.
You look naughty even now as an adult.
That was me. I don't know if it was because I was trying to be rebellious, break rules. I was the kind of child of don't sit here, I will sit there. Don't do this, I would do. But she always affirmed me with, I'm just married to your uncle, but you are my child. If I'm leaving this home, you own my luggage because your father made it clear I was the one to take you, not your uncle. So it was those moments of you being kind, but she's affirming you with that. It was tough love. I really commend her for that. And she was strict. My God. I don't even know why I ended up being rebellious and naughty, because she was strict. It's until much later you grow up and you become friends. By that time, people would even ask about you, like, who do you think
this
you
your
are?
mom?
Now, my cousins that I grew up with, they did none of the things I did. Imagine you're a guest in a home, you're the one breaking every rule, you're the one doing everything the opposite. Like, but it was, at least I got a chance to have siblings. But it's lonely.
So I just want us to take a minute, even as we consider the things that you've just said, to just take a moment of silence for your parents and for your siblings, just to hold space for that emotion. So we'll just take a minute to say a prayer and wish them to continue to rest in peace. May their souls continue to rest peaceably. I have my parents, and I feel like from the different letters we've been receiving anonymously from different people, I made the assumption that people who have their parents living have had it rough, right? Or have it fair. Some of us think they're having it fair, some of us think they're having it rough. And you just shared how, of course, it's different when you are a naughty child. You shared how your mom was there for you, but then they are tough. I know that on your journeys, there are times you felt unloved and misunderstood, unwanted. You're like, do these people even care about me? Do they understand me? Do you want to tell us a bit about that? Because I struggled with that. And you being a multi-potentialite, I have a feeling. Because when you're good at many things and you do many things, it's very easy to be misunderstood. Yeah, people are like, why can't you settle in one thing? Why can't you sit down? Why can't you behave? Why can't you be the... Have any of you experienced that?
Yeah, so I have this assumption that if you have parents, it's always easier for you, like biological parents, because whether you have a second mom or a second parent that steps in, they never feel that void. That is the first thing. But the fact that, I see my friends' moms, and when they have babies, they have places to take their children. They have a very strong support system that's very non-judgmental, and grandparents are always excited to spoil their grandkids, even though you left them for the whole holiday. I don't think if I was a grandmom, I would really mind. I would be so excited to have little voices around me. So I feel like, those of us, or those of you with parents, are more lucky, because you do have that support system.
So I hear you, and I want to say that my mother keeps saying, don't make me a grandmother too soon. I am still a young babe, I don't want to be a grandmother. And I guess it's a joke that people say.
It's a joke.
But sometimes when you hear it often, you're like, this woman doesn't want me to become something like that. But also just to say that it's not always that. Like I mentioned, in the letters that I am receiving from different people, it's very, very clear that there are some mother-daughter relationships and grandmother-daughter relationships that are very, very estranged. Like, people have not talked to their mothers in a long time. People have not been home to see their parents, and their parents live like in Ntinda, they live in Nigeria, and they just pass through Ntinda, and they never check on their mothers, they never talk to their mothers. People say, oh, my mother calls me every day, and people are like, what do you be talking about? Like, what kebi is there with your mom? Because they don't have that kind of relationship. Tina, what do you think?
Me, I think I also have that thing of, even if your mother is mad, but if she's somewhere out there, I think it's a choice, either to bring them in or out. But unfortunately, now some of us don't get that option. Life just chooses for you what to do. And as you had mentioned earlier, I think my whole growing up, I was misunderstood. Like, have you ever been there and Penny is going to talk to Rona, Rona will talk to Roger, like everyone gangs up and they have their best friend in. And for you don't have that safe space. So I feel like everything I tried to do, I was misunderstood, and there was never a secret. Even if
your business was everyone's business.
Like everyone is in you, everyone is. So if someone is saying something, I'm trying to analyze everything you say, how you look at me. If I find you two in a corner, why aren't I in that corner? Meaning you're
talking about me, or judging me, or critiquing me.
So that was it for me. So until I grew up and said, you know what, I need to do something. I can't be only me. So that's how the decision of becoming a mother even came up.
So right there at the decision of becoming a mother, I'm going to ask a question. But before I get to that decision of becoming a mother, I want to ask a follow-up question, because you said, I know it's difficult when you're I don't call us problem children or difficult children, but I know there are times when you're a teenager and you feel like Tolina Chongamba. You can't tell me nothing. Like, and the more you push back, the more punishments you get, the more you feel hated, the more you... Has that relationship with your mom been repaired? Are you at a point where now you can laugh at the things?
I think now we are okay. I think now we are very okay. I remember at one time, I think in my S3, I wrote to her later, I would go back to school, and then like kids have stories. What Garden City me have.
Like, I don't know where Garden City is.
So I said, but why? So being me, I took my time. I bought a writing pad, paper,
Those days we had colorful ones.
Then I wrote, Dear Mom, I feel I'm old enough. My friends go to Garden City. I listed the places people were going. And I said, I am informing you that as of now, I am going to start going to these places.
I'm not asking, I'm just informing you. Okay.
So I folded it nicely, put in my beautiful envelope on her bed. Now that time, my adolescence was bad. I felt like the world, there's nothing you gotta tell me. I've made it to here. So my mom told me when I grew up, she's like, so when she would punish me after that, she'd be like, this letter you wrote, that day you get married, I have to read it for everyone to hear what you wrote for me. But I think now we've grown past all my headache. I was that child of, if I'm going to get a tattoo, Mommy, I'm informing you, tomorrow I'm getting a tattoo, don't see it.
I'm not asking for permission, I am not seeking your
consent. Like I would tell her I think I would tell her the worst things. And I think I'd be expecting something, I don't know. But I would tell her, Mommy, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pierce this, I'm going to... I would inform her in my badness. Mommy, I got a boyfriend. Mommy, like me, it was about do what you're doing, but me, I've told you. But now we are cool.
Okay. Let's go to the decision, and I will ask you the question because I mean she needs to breathe a little. But she mentioned the decision to have babies. I know that from everything you've shared, mommy dying at 10, and then you're being taken on by a different family, and you're being raised totally differently. Maybe it's what God purposed, but it's totally differently from what it would have been like, I presume, if mommy was here. And now you're of age, and you're with a partner, and you've made the decision to have kids. Let's talk about that. Did you want to have girls?
Interesting question, Penny. I definitely wanted kids. That for sure. Right before I went to university, I wanted 3 boys.
Boys?
Yes.
No girl?
No girl. And the reason is because the world can be very unkind to girls, and girls might not be valued. So I just was scared
of having
bringing a girl to this world, and any of that happens to her. So I was so certain. I even knew the names of my 3 boys.
Oh my God.
By university, before I even met my current partner. Yeah, but I now have 2 boys and 1 girl, and it's magical.
Okay, let me first pause you right there, because was your not wanting, because I know life is hard, literally, every day, everywhere, life is hard, but was your decision to not want a girl from your experience growing up, or is it something that you just like, no, I just don't want to have a girl because I don't want them to suffer, that's all?
Yeah, it's partly that, but I also used to be very scared.
Yeah.
You know, when you have to, you know, get sent somewhere and it's getting a bit dark, I would always be afraid. I grew up in Bugolobi Flats.
Yeah.
And you know, the market is the place we used to go to, and anytime it turned a bit dark, I remember always trying to shadow people.
Yeah, you're literally walking behind an adult, so that
an adult or a group of people, and I kept looking back if there were boys following me, because Bugolobi Flats, there were so many kids, and you know, around the market area there were also very rowdy boys. So growing up, I kept telling myself, I don't want this to happen because it's very scary, and by the time you reach home, you're like, oh my God.
And yet, Bugolobi kids were the rich kids of Kampala as of today.
That's an assumption, but also it was very close to Middle East, and Middle East had, you know, different, varied, you know, it had varied families, and, you know, from low income earners to middle income to high income. So it was very mixed. and it was also a community of civil servants.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite varied, but I really, really wanted boys, particularly because of those reasons.
Yes.
And I thought they might be more safe, or they might, you know, be able to take care of themselves. I just had this negative perception about
Around
having
raising
a
a girl.
Yes. And I didn't know if I would be a really good mom to a girl. Yeah, so those were some of my fears. But I'm
Interesting.
really happy
No,
that I have a girl.
I am really, you see, I'm even failing to find the words because I'm like, oh my God, even today. So my sister gave birth recently, and like from the day the girl arrived, I have already showed her what shades we are going to be rocking as auntie. I'm going to be the cool aunt. We're going to be rocking shades. We're going to wear matchy clothes. We're going to, like, I am excited about, like, girls. I'm like, we can do so much. We can do nail appointments.
I know. I know. That's exactly what my daughter does. She says my nails are pink, and she'll say, Mommy, I want blue, or I want green. When I'm wearing lipstick, she also wants. So I doll her up, and that's really cool.
That's nice.
Yes.
Pinky, did you want to have a girl?
No way.
Okay, what is wrong with you?
We are so similar.
When I went for the scan, I
People are going
kept
to
saying,
think we planned this.
I
and
kept
yet
saying
you
no.
don't even.
No, when I asked her, I just laugh. I'm like, hey, meaning I'm not the only one. You know, you know when you're living life as you, you imagine this is only happening
To me,
until you go out and maybe hear another story. You're like, hey, you mean, okay, I'm not a weirdo.
So why did you not want to have a girl?
Of course, now me personally, everyone around me imagines, oh, you need a girl. Like everyone needed a girl for me, but me, I kept telling God, don't do this to me. Do not do this. I'm a mother of boys. God, when you speak, you create.
You are manifesting.
When you speak, you create. I'm a mother of boys. I mothered boy talk like, I don't know how many times. But when I went for that scan, I told the lady, come again. Please do it again. Are you sure? I think I did a scan in a month, I did 3 scans in different places to confirm, to make sure
that you're
it
not
is
having
not
a
a girl. But unfortunately, God had other plans.
What was your fear? What is it that made you think you couldn't handle a girl? What were you very afraid of?
For starters, I didn't think I would be a good mom to a girl, because I am all joking, laughing, but I'm a tough mom. Because my firstborn is a boy, so I know I'm a tough mom. So and then you know, girls, you're either too strict or no. If you're too strict, she might do the wrong thing. If you're too lenient, she might again. So like for girls, you're not. I'm not sure if I have those. I don't know if I have that delicacy of. Like, so I knew if I'm a mother of boys, I just stand, I'm like, no.
This is it.
And this is it. And then you know that thing of people, okay, I don't know if it's an assumption or if it really happens, boys and their mothers. So meaning I have more people on my team. Now if I started into
so you
girls,
even have teams in your household, Pinky.
so me, I'm just creating an army. So I knew. So I'd look at the likes of like Zari, if I can use her as an example, like with her, how she is with her boys. Like she stands and then they're all there. I'm like, this
and
is
you feel
me.
like she's surrounded.
Yeah, now protection. But she's here and she's amazing. Very peaceful. Yeah.
Total opposite of
Total
you.
opposite. And I feared because growing up, you continue doing this.
Your daughter will show you.
Hey. I cancel in Jesus' name. I cancel in Jesus' name. My daughter will be an angel.
Yeah, but also, speaking of that, and I know that you've been raised the same also, let's just talk a little bit about the things we speak into our children's lives, because I know that I have also been told, hey, you're that stubborn. When you give birth to a girl, they are going to show you. They will, everything you've done, it's going to be, you will reap where you have sown. And I'm usually like, really? Why do you want me to go through the same suffering you've gone through? Because, you know, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm a child. So as you raise your beautiful daughters today, what are the things you're speaking over them? What are the things you want to see in their future, in their lives, in their worlds, as you raise them as your daughters, but also as mothers? How are you checking yourselves to raise daughters in a way that does not bring us to the place where these anonymous letters have put us, where people are living in Nigeria and passing through Tinder and never calling to say, "Mommy, are you okay?" For me, it was always no. I was the kind of child who you had to explain to, not just tell this is wrong. You had to give me the reason behind why we are not doing something, because otherwise you've lost me. And shouting doesn't help, because I was caned, I was shouted at, until now my parents understand that if Penny is going to do something, you've got to explain the reason behind that thing. And I feel like if we adopted different communication styles for our children, maybe we would also parent better. Pinky. I know you're still shaking from having a girl.
Because of fear of having a girl, I got into church more, I prayed more. Yeah. The name had to be spiritual.
Something that affirms her.
Yeah.
So what's her name?
She's called Thekla. It means God's glory. I was torn between Thekla and Theodora, because Theodora means God's gift, but then I said, but every child is a gift from God, so it won't have that. So we went with Thekla, which means God's glory. Unlike my son, now my son, me and the dad, we liked Fast and Furious. So Tyrese was our guy.
So you just
but for the girl, like
it's
I
more intentional.
The moment I got to know it's a girl,
yeah.
I started name hunting. So I want us to have that relationship of, I'm not your gango, but you can talk to me.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's something, don't fear me. You know, as we grew up with fear. Of when you hear beep beep, everyone scatters. No, I don't want that kind of
that household of fear.
I just want to, mommy is strict, but if you do what mommy wants, you can talk to mommy about anything. Yes, yes. I'd rather hear it from you or than hear it from anyone else. So that's kind of the relationship I want us to have with my kids. And then I want my children to be friends. You know, there are siblings that are not friends. I want my children to be friends.
It's so beautiful what you guys have just shared, and I feel like, oh my God, I don't even know anything I add will take away from that. But I'm very, very grateful to you, Lauren and Pinky. I'm glad that we had this conversation, because there are so many people out there who have lost their mothers young, and they are struggling with, how do I mother a daughter when I myself have been, yes, mothered by other people, but it wasn't my mom, and I don't know how to navigate that world, and I don't know how to deal with those kinds of things. And I know that you've only shared snippets of your stories and conversations, so I want to urge people to, you know, engage with you on the YouTube channel, on Twitter, and ask you more questions if they want to, on how to navigate this journey. And I like what you said, Lauren, that mothering is a journey and we are all learning on the job. So I pray that you will be gracious to yourself, that you will be kind, that you will be kind to yourself, that you will offer yourself grace and allow yourself to fail on the job, but also pick yourself up as your mother, because it's not the same. It's not a one size fits all, but also there are things that your daughters are seeing about you and they wish you could change. There are things you're seeing about them that you wish they could change, and somehow we are not communicating those things, and that's why our saucepans are leaking. So I hope that today's episode helps you to patch up some of these leakages, and that you pick up that phone and call your mom if you still have the opportunity to, and say, thank you, I see you, I see your struggles, and I want to be a better daughter. Thank you so much for watching us. Till next time, bye-bye.